What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Lazy Goldmaker video. So in this one, we're gonna take a look at my sales on the Burning Crusade Classic. We're gonna go through, see what we can find from just looking through the sales data in TSM in game, and we'll see what I've been making gold with, and I'll sort of peel back what I've been doing, which. Not been doing that much lately, but I was doing gold making quite consistently around launch. So let's jump in and take a look at the numbers. So here we have it. Obviously, we'll start with the dashboard. I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit more. So when was it TBC launch? It was June 1, right? So we can see that in the period since TBC launched, I've made 44k in sales. I have a TSM profit of just 4,000 gold because I've spent a bunch of gold. Obviously, this also includes me spending 5,000 gold on epic flying and stuff like that. So we've actually made quite a bit more in terms of actual profit than this. And I also spent gold on some other things for my main. That's not strictly gold making related, but it's still going to show up in the expense column. So obviously, this has been working pretty well. This is across, daily sales of about 320 sales per day, and a good number of items. We'll get into that, but yeah, definitely pretty good. And I wasn't doing much gold making before launch, so we can just pretty much look at like the 2-month period, and we'll get some good numbers for what I've been doing since TBC launched. So obviously the things that we're interested in looking at is what we'll find in the ledger, and we're going to jump into the revenue section to take a look at some of my sales. So look at the last 60 days. Obviously we'll see 43k down at the bottom here, which is what we expected, sort of. And what we're going to do is we're going to filter by groups, and we're going to go look at some of the things that I know I've been selling quite a bit of. So I know that the main thing I've been spending my effort on is from jewel crafting. We're going to take a look at gems and see how much we've got there. Unsurprisingly, that's a very large portion of my sales. That's 27k from various cut gems. This is cut gems only. So obviously that's a huge amount of gold. I don't know the exact profit, but we can check the profit pretty easily. So that's 27k. For gems, and we can check out how much I've spent on ore to see if I've been profitable here. So what we'll do then is that we won't be filtering by groups anymore. Actually, we'll just remove that filter, yeah. And then we'll look up adamantite, which is the one ore I've brought. Come on, adamantite. 11k on adamantite, and obviously we've been buying some fel iron ore as well. So we've spent about 12,000 gold on ore. The issue is, of course, when I was filtering by the group, I was including the meta gems, which do not come from prospecting. So what we gotta do then is we gotta filter again, and now we gotta not include the meta gems. So we're gonna do rare gems and uncommon gems, and we're gonna take a look again. And we come to this number here, 22k. So I have spent about 13k on ore, and I've made 22k. Now I also know that I have bought some uncut gems. I don't know how many. So that's the last thing we have to check, and we do that by filtering by groups again. And this time we're gonna filter by. I should have a group for cut. I'm gonna filter by this one. So that's another 2,300 gold for gems that were uncut. So that would still mean that we've made somewhere around 6,000-7,000 gold in profit from jewel crafting. Obviously, I also bought some recipes, which will also have to 4,000 gold worth of recipes. So that's almost going to wipe out my profit. But obviously, from this point on, it's just going to be more and more profit. So yeah, overall a great market. Absolutely fantastic. We can also take a look at the diamonds specifically by just searching for diamond. There's going to be some Azerothine diamonds here, but they're not enough to matter. So 5k gold on the meta gems. and 4,600 gold spent on meta gems. But I also obviously right now I have a couple of meta gems on the on me and on the auction house. Making gold there as well. Not as much, but I do believe that I have a good chunk of meta gems lying about right now. If I check here, we have about 1,000 gold worth of meta gems on us. So that's why that looks the way it does. So jewel crafting has been great now, but jewel crafting was just 27k of my sales. So where has the rest been coming from? Obviously, some is from materials. I've done some material flipping, so we'll take a quick look at materials here. About 3,000 gold from materials, and what we've done here is we've been flipping and selling some of the stuff that we just get from looting, like Sunfury signets, stuff like that. I've sold some adamantite ore to vendor. Whatever. There's some uncut gems, and there's a good chunk of arcane dust and stuff like that I've also made some good gold with, or some arcane dust and some other stuff, because I've been doing some disenchanting. I've been doing some disenchant shuffling. So that's 3,000 gold. Not that much gold. That's a little bit. And then I also know that I've been doing some classic era material flipping, so we can jump down. Actually, it's in the flipping subgroup here. So we're gonna get that one. And then we want to see, where is it? Materials. So it's about 4,600 gold in sales from classic materials. Vision dust is the big one here, by the way. And we'll take a look at the resale summary afterwards to show you a little bit more about that. And then the last thing should be, there's a little bit from TBC Alchemy, and there should be a little bit from tailoring. And I'm actually quite interested to see how the split is here, because I have no idea. So we'll take a look at alchemy first. So just 2,000 gold from alchemy, not that much. And then lastly, we have the tailoring, our good friends the tailor. I do not believe I've crafted anything else relevant. So it's tailoring. So we have 5,000 gold in sales from tailoring. Of course, if we're looking at the big stuff here, it's going to be the Bracers of Havoc, absolutely the top item, generating 2,000 gold by itself, which is great. This is the phase 1 BIS bracers for casters, so obviously they're going to sell well. I believe I bought the recipe for a couple of hundred gold. Havoc. Oh yeah, remove the filter here. Yeah, 400 gold, 2k gold generated in sales, absolutely worth it. In general, I've found that buying recipes is quite worth it. They're gonna help accelerate your sales. They're gonna accelerate your sales, which matters a lot. Definitely helps you out a lot in generating gold for the next milestone. But there's a point where it might not be worth it. Like, for instance, I don't really need any more living ruby recipes because I can barely get enough living rubies as is from prospecting. But I do need more recipes for some of the other gem types, just so I can get rid of all my yellow gems and green gems and the purple gems that are not as popular, and that you have a much harder time actually selling. I have been getting rid of most of my gems. I even sold quite a lot of uncommon cut gems, although it's a market that's dying, and slowly but surely I expect that we'll not be seeing good prices for any of this. Although, well, actually 9 gold for delicate blood garnets, that's a lot. Would not have expected that. That's good. Probably run a post scan and do that. The last thing we're going to look at is the resale summary, and this one's a good one to look at, which is where you'll see what I've been flipping. As you can see, there's not much I've been flipping. I've been flipping some of these recipes. I buy them whenever I'm in Shadow Moon Valley. Just because I'm a scryer, you go to the tailoring supply vendor in Sanctum of the Stars whenever you can, and you buy the imbued netherweave robe and imbued netherweave tunic pattern, and you send them to your banker, and they sell. As you can see, I've sold 7 of these bad boys for 16 gold average, sold 7 of these for 22 gold average. You buy them for 5 gold each, so that's 70 gold profit from that, and a little bit more than that from the other one. The big one here, Vision Dust, our good friend Vision Dust. Absolutely banging item to flip. I've written about this in the past. This is I've both been shuffling Vision Dust and flipping it. There are posts up about how good this item is on the blog. It's fantastic for flipping because it's a huge bottleneck. It's an absolutely huge bottleneck for leveling enchanting. Actually, I just realized this was just for last 30 days. We wanted last 60. So there's going to be some stuff here that this one is like whatever. This one, this remove vendor from this. That'll give us a more realistic estimate. So we're looking at 1500 gold profit. Pretty good. This is 1500 gold profit from flipping. And as you can see, it's Vision Dust, Illusion Dust, Ruined Living Rubies. I had to buy these out once. At some point in the past, they were like, I reset this once. Obviously a fantastic item in general. Arcane Dust, we've made some gold flipping that. Sun Fury Signets. Mark of Sargeras, you can make gold flipping that. The only thing keeping me back from doing it, probably just actually executing shopping scans more often, which I've not done particularly often. And yeah, but the enchanting materials, those have been the best ones. Vision Dust in particular, I bought 3,000 or 2,500 of this at one point at the same time, and I was like, man, did I buy too much? And I didn't, because people need 300 of these to level their enchanting. So the price is still high, and there's probably still opportunities to get these cheaply, or to get the Mage Weave cloth cheaply to shuffle this yourself if you have the recipe. So that's a great little market to be flipping in. Now in sales, I honestly think that it's just going to be well, it's going to be the basics. Like alchemy is going to work. I don't have that many alchemy recipes, which is why I don't have that much gold. And also, when I was spending some real time doing gold making at the beginning of at the beginning of the Burning Crusade, people were not yet at the time where they were spending loads of money on consumables, because people at the time were leveling, they were farming materials, they were farming to get their epic flying, they were farming to get their previous gear. But now all that's in the past, so what they're spending their gold on now is stuff like gemming out their gear with full bis gems, getting enchants, maybe gearing an altar too, and obviously buying all of those juicy consumables so that they can outparse their friends and flex on the other people in their raid group, or just because they like doing big damage, because it's more fun to do big damage. So yeah, absolutely great. Obviously, I'm not hyper rich in TBC. I'm sitting at about 3,300. I've been spending gold when I was playing it. I haven't really played for 2 weeks, as you can see. And since I'm not that interested in the end game of TBC, I did do Karazhan and Gruul and some heroics on my Warlock, and then I realized that like this just doesn't interest me that much. And that also sort of lost the interest in gold making a little bit, although gold making in TBC is quite interesting. I'm just having a lot more fun with 9.1, so that's why I haven't been spending as much time with the TBC gold making. But yeah, my number one tip would be jewel crafting, but it is reliant on spending gold on relatively expensive recipes that are on the auction house. At least for some of the things, there are some rep recipes, like you can get some of the meta gems. Most of the meta gem recipes are stuff you can get from farming, from reputation, from stuff you can do solo. So those are pretty good places to start. Although the meta gems themselves are a little more expensive, they're definitely very strong sellers, and I think that a lot of people will be getting their bisc gear and definitely be more and more of them will be willing to splurge on the meta gems that are quite expensive. So I definitely think that that's going to be a nice way to make money. But yeah, right now, it's all the standards: consumables, gear, item enhancements. That's what people are buying. I've had by far the most success with jewel crafting. Do with that information what you will. Hopefully, you're able to make your gold, the amount of gold that you want to get in TBC. if you're planning to play the entire expansion, my personal advice would be to buy up recipes. Like, get BIS recipes, get all the BIS recipes. They generally pay off themselves long term. There might be some that are not worth it if they're too expensive, but generally speaking, you expect these recipes to pay off. Whether it is potions, whether it is BIS gems, anything, I would expect these to generate the gold you spent for them. It definitely happened to me when I was buying jewel crafting recipes around launch. So yeah. Hopefully this video was interesting and you learned a little bit about what I've been doing and how you can make gold in TBC. This is not the only way, obviously, but it's how I've made my gold. Leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, or just share this with your friend who's playing TBC. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Goodbye, guys.